welcome to our third instalment of Car Trouble with Blaming on the Boogie today. Boogie, how are you?
Not too bad, mate.
You ready for the tough questions?
Sure am.
Question 1. Which player do you think is the most guilty of offering up horrendous trade offers?
That's a tough question. I've heard a couple of stories of some horrendous trade offers from All You Need Is Love.
Yep.
Not to myself, but to other people. So he's definitely guilty of that. It's quite hilarious in my opinion.
Do you think you've been guilty of any such offers?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. Got to try and capitalise on when people are at their weakest points.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
All right, question 2. How successful do you think the league has been so far?
Very successful. I think every week that's gone past so far has added a little bit more excitement and a different dimension to the whole competition.
Nice. Alrighty. As the commissioner, you hold a lot of power in the league. Do you think that you've found yourself to ever be consumed by the power? And in particular reference to the trade rape situation between Noah's Ark and Charles Markley. Do you care to shed light on that situation?
Okay, so as a general role as being a commissioner, one of the commissioners, it can be overwhelming at times because there's you want the competition to be fair all around, but at the same time I do take pride in doing it, and I do like to organise things and have a bit of power and exert some sort of leadership. In terms of that single experience, it was a tough one because for the early stages of thinking through how that trade worked out, it looked like one side had greatly benefited over the other. But then after speaking to the trade rapist himself and the way that he worded it did seem fair in one way. Moving on from that particular trade, I think Chuff traded well after that to break even.
I think that's a good point. Alright, so we're 4 weeks into the season. How many teams currently do you think cannot win? No chance. And can you name these teams?
Cannot win the league.
Can't win it. There's no chance. Or do you think everyone still has a slight chance?
No, I think there are teams that are already out of it. I think there's at least 3.
Can you name them?
I think,
publicly to shame them?
Look, that's fine. I think that Noah's Ark, due to poor drafting. I think that All You Need Is Love due to poor drafting. And I think that Free Gucci Mane, I should say hashtag Free Gucci Mane, due to not so poor drafting, but lack of lineup changes and awareness on the waiver wire and things like that could come into play.
I think that's a pretty good answer. All right. Now, I mean, each category is worth 1 point or 1 category point. Mm-hmm. But is there a particular category that you pride yourself in winning week in, week out?
There's a few. I pride myself in the way that my team steals the ball, assists, and also gets rebounds.
Yeah.
I think those are my 3 strengths, and I am looking to solidify those cats and be unstoppable in all 3 of them.
Okay. Now, it's been in the news. John Wall is up for trade. I'd like to discuss that and your reasons behind trading John Wall, mm-hmm. and which player/players would you like to get for John Wall specifically? Okay.
Well, first things first, John Wall's my boy. And I think that this is his breakout season. He's 24 years old. He's his 3rd, 4th season in the system. I rate him as a top 5 point guard, so letting go of him will be pretty hard. I was saying to Mark this morning, I think that I will self-diagnose myself with Tobias Harris syndrome. That Shab unfortunately already has, he's contracted that disease already. So I think that I would be one to be following Wall stats if I did get rid of him. He's on the table. I'm after another big man to complement Zebo and Boogie. I'm after someone along the lines of DeAndre Jordan, Marcus Sol, LaMarcus Aldridge, those kinds of big men that can solidify the rebounds for me.
Okay, but in terms of a backup point guard, who's going to fill that void once Wall's?
Well, look, I do have a decent amount of guards. I have Darren Collison, Reggie Jackson, Iman Shumpert, that I think that even though they're not elite, they're not in the same category as John Wall, they can get the job done, especially like the way that I've drafted Darren Collison. No one really gave him a chance, and he's done very, very well for Sacramento, and he's the number 1 point guard there.
Yeah, no, fair enough. All right. Which list in the league makes you want to attend jelly school? Who are you most jelly of?
There's a few. I like the way that the Catfoot list is comprised.
You have a problem being jelly.
I like the way the look of the Charles Markley list is getting some more momentum as every week's going past.
Have you stopped to consider that maybe, just maybe, you're gel? Nobody likes a girl who's jelly.
He does have David Lee on the bench to come back, an all-star power forward. And I think that the biggest sleeper in the league to watch out for is Ash's team. I've got a match up with him next week, and I think that's one to keep an eye on.
It's interesting that you say that, because the next question was, which team who currently are in the lower half of the ladder do you think has the potential to reach the playoffs?
That'd definitely be Ash's team.
Yeah.
I think that he definitely has a shot of finishing in the top 4.
Yeah.
He's got Russell Westbrook about to return. Bradley Beal's played a couple of games, and we all know he's a good shot from the perimeter. Yeah, Ash's team's quite good, and I also don't mind Crazy's team if Pau Gasol can keep up the efforts that he's doing.
Yeah. Plus KD coming back.
KD coming back, Kobe shooting like the old school Kobe as well.
Now, what would it mean to you to take out the inaugural Fantasy League Championship?
Look, it's all I've thought about since May. I don't care about that money. I want that trophy. It's about the pride, and it's about saying that you did something and achieved something that took a lot of time and effort over a long period of time.
Yeah, I think we can all agree there.
Yeah.
Now, which team can you see yourself punishing 9-0? Call them out.
Okay. Before Magnum's team did the did trading, I think he traded very cleverly and improved his team from what he drafted. I could have beaten Harden Interruption, or I forgot what it was called. The Big Deng Theory, as it was previously known as. I could have beaten that team 9-0 at the start in the early rounds. This week I thought that I would have it pretty easy against Ethan. It's turning out to be pretty tough. In saying that, I do have a depleted squad. I've got Darren Collison in my starting lineup, who's not going to be playing this week at all. And Channing Frye is doing his best impersonation of a ghost. I don't even know.
Does he still play?
I don't know. He might have
I
retired.
thought he was in the NBL.
Thought he was playing for Danny Rangers.
All right, now I've got 2 more questions, second last. How long can you see the league lasting? Decades? A few years? Till you die?
It's a good question. When we started the league after the draft, I thought maybe, a couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years maybe at the tops. And every week that's gone past, and I see how everyone's getting more and more into it, including myself, there's no reason why this league can't go on for a decade plus. There really isn't. We all see each other on a regular basis, and it doesn't take too much effort to run it. It only takes maybe 3 days a year where everyone needs to get together for league activity.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why this can't go on for a long, long time.
And lastly, top 4. Give them to me in order.
In order?
Yeah, the playoffs. Who's making it 1 to 4?
All right. I have great confidence in my team to finish on top. I think I can do it. I'm just possibly outside the top 4 at the moment, but I don't think my team's hit top gear yet. I think out of the 8 of them that I've played every week, maybe 5 or 6 have contributed in the same week, not all 8 of them. I like Catfoot's team. I think they're a definite show to make top 2.
Okay, just maybe I should have you sent off to jelly school. That's right. In fact, I'm going to call the jelly school right now. Okay, I'm sorry about this, but it's gone too far. I've had it. Hello, is this the jelly school? Okay, I have a girl here who's extremely jelly. I'll see if you could take her in for a few weeks, but she better watch her jelly behavior.
Charles Markley is a definite to make top 4, and I think the 4th spot, the last spot for the playoffs, will be, contested between around 3 or 4 teams. I think the Sharp, the Light can make a late run. I think that A Few Good Men will make a good run. And another dark horse I have waiting, I think, will be Wisdom Hot Niggers.
Yeah, I agree. They were my dark horse.
Yeah.
Well, Thunder on the Boogie, Commissioner, thank you for your time. Appreciate you establishing the league and setting it all up for everyone. Yeah, you've been
My pleasure.
the best.